All right, welcome everyone. Hope you all can hear me. If I can get a quick yes that I can be heard in the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. For anyone listening to this once I put up the video, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. The reason for that is because I have to sit through a 15 to 30 second ad and I can't skip it. So sometimes when I put these on YouTube, there's a little bit of a lull at the beginning. If there's that lull, you guys know that it's because I'm sitting for an ad and I'm just waiting to skip it. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. I'm not sitting here just kind of waiting and not worrying about the stream. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. I'm actually just waiting for the ads to end. But I hope you guys are all well. Hope everyone's doing good. And as I said, hopefully I can be heard. I think everything's looking good on my end. So thank you so much, everyone who is coming in. I see everyone funneling in. We're already at 4 likes just as we're starting here. I think we have a pretty interesting and pretty important topic here. We have the best foods to cleanse the liver. So we're definitely going to be getting into a lot of different types of foods that are going to help cleanse the liver, but also lifestyle. Remember, we always talk about lifestyle if we're on a topic that has to deal with pretty much anything: heart health, digestive health, hydration, things like that. There has to be a lifestyle change that goes into it as well. We can't just eat these foods and then automatically assume that it's going to be, detoxing or cleansing the liver. All right, so if we're eating highly processed food, of course, that's not going to have a great effect on liver health or cleansing the liver and everything like that. So I just want to make sure that we talk a little bit about lifestyle changes. Now, as always, it's always best when I get engagement in the chat. You guys are doing an awesome job engaging through the likes. I see 6 there already. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. But let's talk a little bit to start about a good foundation of a good detox program. All right, so it doesn't matter if it's the body. A lot of this is going to relate to liver detoxification and cleansing. You're going to hear me kind of twine between detox and cleanse. It's the same thing. All right, so when I'm talking about detox, cleanse, it's the exact same thing here, guys. So let's get into the lifestyle. All right, so what's a good foundation to a proper cleansing of the liver? Well, first of all, the first thing that we want to do is limit the amount of toxins that are entering through our diet. So entering through the body, and the best way of doing that is through the foods that we're eating. All right, because remember, not only are the foods that we're eating going to affect how our liver health is, but there's tons of other things like air pollutants. It could be tobacco, things like that, other preservatives in food. So we want to make sure that we're trying to get as much healthy food as possible. If we can keep as much healthy food as possible, all right, the better. So let's make sure that we're eating as much healthy food, limiting the amount of toxins. You can call it toxins, wastes, anything of that sort of nature. So basically, we're talking about highly processed foods. Let's limit those and let's stick to whole foods, healthy foods, and then that way we're getting the best cleansing of the liver. All right, because we have to have those healthy foods. We need the micronutrients. We need well-balanced macronutrients in our diet as well. Now, if someone can give me a quick yes in the chat that you can actually hear me, that would be great. I see the thumbs going way up. But don't be scared to chat. Leave a message in chat, guys. All right, now the other thing, that we want to do for a good foundation to a detox program, and that includes the liver as well. All right, we want to make sure that we're getting movement. All right, and the reason why we're getting movement, you can call it exercise. It doesn't really matter what you call it. I like calling it movement because exercise sort of has this negative connotation to it where we have to go to the gym, we have to do, an hour workout and things like that. If we are getting our 20 to 30 minute walks, we are getting our movement. Now, why is that so important for liver cleansing? The reason why that's so important for liver cleansing is that we're increasing circulation and we're increasing sweating. All right, now it looks like we already went to no signal. I'm not sure why that happened. I apologize for that. Thank you, Chapman. I appreciate that. But again, no signal's fine. This is podcast form. All right, it's nice to have that picture up there, but throw your own picture up there, guys. We've gone through this before. Throw your own picture up there. Again, the no signal is not going to stop us. We're going to give tons of information, and I want to answer all of your questions. All right, so tons of feedback is great as well. So let's not worry about that no signal. All right, now the other thing that we want to do, all right, is make sure that we're having, and we've mentioned this before, hydration is key when it comes to cleansing the liver. All right, we need to make sure that we're taking in adequate levels of water. All right, we need adequate levels of water intake. That's going to cleanse and naturally flush out toxins and wastes and pollutants. All right, because don't forget, we're taking in air pollutants every single day. It doesn't really matter, you know. If we're out, those air pollutants are going to be hitting us. It can be, let's talk about other ones. Could be alcohol, tobacco, certain food additives. Sometimes there's heavy metals in our foods. Those are just the ones off the top of my head. Even some cleaners, all right, or pollution from certain industry type cleaners and things like that. Those are pollutants that are going to be affecting the liver. All right, so let's make sure that we're drinking adequate levels of water. That way we're flushing out as many toxins as we can. Flush out those toxins, and that's the urination process. All right, so that's great for any detoxification program and especially for our liver. So those are kind of our main points. All right, we want to make sure that we're eating healthy foods, limit the amount of toxins that are entering the body. All right, because if you're eating processed food, don't forget, guys, those toxins are going to be entering. All right, highly processed food, sugars, trans fats, saturated fats, food preservatives, all of that stuff that we don't want. High sodium, I could go on and on, all right, when it comes to toxins being ingested through our diet. All right, the other one, a little bit of movement. We want circulation, maybe even a little bit of sweat, all right, because we're going to be cleansing as we're sweating. If we're sweating, all right, some of those toxins are going to be released. All right, now another thing is that we're going to be talking a little bit is fiber. All right, and we want to make sure, you know, if we're trying to cleanse the liver, any good detoxification program is going to be high in fiber. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that you're not constipated or having symptoms of constipation. You're going to want to make sure that you're having proper bowel function. All right, so good regularity, because that's how we're eliminating waste. It's the same thing with hydration. If you're having good urination, those toxins, those waste, the pollutants, even heavy metals, things like that, they're being released through that process. All right, so good bowel function, regularity, reducing constipation symptoms, all very, very important. All right, now when it comes to, and I'd like to get your feedback on this, guys, so don't be scared to type in chat. Chapman, thank you so much for the interaction and letting me know that I can be heard. And we're already at 9 thumbs up. Geez, you guys are almost in double digits by now. We're not even 8 minutes in. You're already at 9 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Now, again, lifestyle modifications. We need, again, the reason why I talk, a lot of people will just list off certain foods that are going to, work to cleanse the liver. We're going to get into all of that. All right, so don't think that we're going to just talk about lifestyle changes. We're going to get into the foods that are going to help cleanse the liver. All right, but we already talked about some of the lifestyle modifications. Make sure you're limiting highly processed foods. So your fast foods, canned foods, things like that, because they're super high in food preservatives. All right, and also making sure that we're limiting alcohol. All right, and also making sure that we're kind of limiting our intake of fast food. All right, if we're not doing that, all right, alcohol, even coffee to a certain extent. All right, coffee to a certain extent. All right, you can have a cup or two, maybe even a little bit more. Hi, Rita. Good. Thank you so much for coming in, entering the chat. I appreciate the engagement. Thank you so much. All right. Again, refined sugar. something we're going to want to stay away from. All right, and then make sure that we're not having food intolerances, so food sensitivities. It could be gluten, it could be dairy, things like that. If we're having sensitivities, again, that's not a good formula for cleansing the liver. All right. Another good one, as we mentioned, good fiber intake, good hydration. That way we're naturally eliminating toxins, pollutants, and everything that could be damaging the liver, because don't forget, it gets processed through the liver. So if we're having those toxins and everything like that, even sugar, sodium, all of that different stuff, then we're going to make sure, it's probably not going to be cleansing the liver like we want. All right, so the last one, again, movement. All right, we want to make sure our circulation is good. Circulation is important. From Arizona, that's nice, Rita. Thank you so much for putting that in. Welcome from all the way from Arizona. I appreciate you putting that in. If anyone wants to put in where else they're from, I'm always interested to hear where people are from. So it's nice to hear Rita from Arizona. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so those are the lifestyle changes I would make, guys. If you're trying to cleanse, detox the body, remember, we're going to use those words interchangeably. All right, if we're trying to cleanse and detox the body, we need to make sure that we're making these lifestyle changes. You can add all of the healthy foods and the foods that we're going to go over right now, but if you're eating fast food every other day or every day, all right, it's not going to be very beneficial for you, especially when it comes to liver cleansing, because it's processed through the liver. All right, if you're not having good hydration, obviously that's not going to be very good for the liver either. The liver, all right, needs that hydration, all right, to filter out toxins, pollutants, and everything like that. And then also fiber. Don't underestimate fiber, because that's going to help with regularity and decrease symptoms of constipation. Urination and bowel movements, especially regular bowel movements, those are super important, all right, when it comes to detoxifying the liver, because that's what's going to get rid of those excess toxins and pollutants. Okay? So if there's any questions on that so far, all right, we talked about the lifestyle. Again, I always feel like if we're not getting into the lifestyle, I'm really doing you guys a disservice. Because if we're eating like I said, if we're eating fast food, all right, or if we're eating high sodium foods or foods that are high in trans fats, we can add all of these foods that I'm about to mention, all right, the best foods to cleanse the liver. We can add all of them, all right. But if you're having high sugar, fast food, highly processed foods, things like that, it's just not going to help, all right. The liver is not going to be cleansed, all right, especially, and again, there's almost an epidemic, all right, and I use that word intentionally, an epidemic of chronic dehydration. There's tons of studies out there, guys. So if you want to cleanse the liver, very similar to detoxing the body, if we're having poor levels of hydration, all right, we're not going to get that liver cleanse that we want. All right, and again, yes, we have the no signal up there. I don't know why it happened so quickly today. Sometimes I think it's maybe from plugging in my microphone, but again, I never worry about that, because this is an information-based stream. All right, it's a podcast form. Throw up your own nice picture. That's what I like to do. Since when I go to no signal, I throw up a nice picture, something nice to look at, and then we can have that discussion. But there's lots of information that's going to go around, and thank you so much for the thumbs up. You guys are killing it right now. Yes, Rita, we'll get into that. Milk thistle is a nice one. All right, good quality milk thistle. You can use it as a supplement. All right, that's a nice one for the liver. All right, milk thistle is very, very popular when it comes to liver cleansing and everything like that. Super healthy for the liver, and we'll get into all of that different stuff. But milk thistle is one of the ones that I would recommend. You don't need a lot of it. All right, you can supplement with it. And then you don't even need to really take it every day, all right? If you're eating a healthy diet, it's something that you can take every other day, but it's very healthy for the liver, even our kidneys to a certain extent, but very healthy for the liver. So excellent question. I'm glad you brought that up. So milk thistle is one of the ones. It'll be on our list. Don't worry, we're going to get into the list, guys. I like the patience that you guys are having. But like I said, you have to have the lifestyle changes. If there's not lifestyle changes, then how are we going to expect, to have a healthy body? It's just not possible. It's just like weight loss. All right, if we're not, getting our movement, if we're not eating healthy, if we're not watching, the calories that we're intaking, you're not going to have a healthy body. It's the exact same with I could go on and on. Digestion, if we're not getting good fiber intake, all right, if we're eating highly processed foods, all right, we're not going to have a good digestive system. All right, so it's the exact same thing when it comes to a healthy body. Thank you so much, guys, for putting up with that no signal. Again, throw that picture up there if you want to. I appreciate you guys coming in. Don't be afraid to ask your questions as well. Like Rita just asked, and now she has the answer to her milk thistle. All right, well, let's start to get into the foods. Okay, and again, if you guys appreciate I think I just put up a video. What was the video I put up today? Geez, I put up so many videos that sometimes I can't even remember off the top of my head what video that I put up. But today's video I thought was actually really good, well researched. If you guys appreciate the daily videos, and if you appreciate the Wednesday and the Thursday, we're coming up on 6 months. All right, pretty soon it's going to be 6 months where we're doing this consistently. So if you appreciate that, if you appreciate all of the information and all of these live streams, all right, it's always greatly appreciated. All right, if I'm not going to put a P.O. box. I already mentioned that there's not going to be a membership where you have to be a member to join the live streams. That will never happen. All right, I can promise you that. But if you want to support the channel, the best way is through the super chat function. All right, that's the only way to do it. I've had people ask about P.O. boxes and memberships and all of that stuff. There'll never be a membership option on this channel. I want as many people in these live streams as possible. So if you are thinking about, because I have gotten messages and I have gotten questions in the live streams, if you appreciate the work that we've been doing, the super chat function is the best way to do that. And I just remembered the video that we put up today was on red pepper. All right, one of my favorites. All right, one of my favorite vegetables, something that I'm always including. And I can eat it raw. You can put it in stir fries and things like that. Some people will put it in smoothies. I'm not the biggest fan of putting it into smoothies, but you obviously can do that if you want to. So those are the lifestyle changes, guys, and we need to make these lifestyle changes first before we get into the foods, because if we're not making the lifestyle changes, as I've said, these foods aren't going to do a great deal for you. If we're not properly hydrated, if we're not limiting the amount of toxins, so highly processed food, all right, if we're not getting in good fiber, all right, so if we're not having good regularity or urination and things like that, we're just not going to see a benefit. All right, we're not going to see a benefit from these foods. So Rita already pointed out one. Milk thistle is a nice one for cleansing the liver. All right, now let's get into another one. All right, now here's one that's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. All right, and one of my favorites. And this is a good one for breakfast, guys. All right, one of my favorite ones for protecting the liver. Not only is it going to protect the liver, but cleanse the liver as well. All right, which is amazing. All right, is grapefruit. All right, so if you guys want to write this down, all right, feel free to write them down, because we're going to list a few of them here. You might forget some of the earlier ones. So one of the best ones that I think, all right, is actually grapefruit. All right, and the reason why, all right, it contains tons of antioxidants, which are going to specifically cleanse the liver, all right, and naturally protect the liver, but it has two really important antioxidants that are especially helpful for our liver. All right, sometimes they can be hard to pronounce, but I've pronounced them so much in my videos. The first one is naringenin. All right, naringenin. And then the first one is and then the second one, is naringin. So very similar to the first one. So naringenin and naringin. All right, I can just remember those right off the top of my head. But two powerful antioxidants that are gonna help cleanse the liver. All right, and you're not gonna get those. The nice thing about grapefruit, those two antioxidants that are very liver protective and are going to help cleanse the liver aren't found in really any other foods. All right, they're found specifically in grapefruit, especially with the both of them. All right, so several studies, all right, there's numerous studies. Remember, whenever I talk about studies, guys, it's not like I'm handpicking studies here and there. There's been numerous studies that show that not only those two antioxidants, but all of the antioxidants in grapefruit, but especially those two, naringenin and naringin, are very helpful in protecting the liver from different liver diseases, but also with cleansing the liver. All right, which is super important. All right, now how does it do that? All right, for one, it's going to reduce inflammation within the liver. All right, and inflammation causes damage. All right, so if we're causing damage within the liver, there's no way that we're going to be cleansing. All right, it's almost like causing inflammation through the cardiovascular system. All right, if you're having inflammation through the cardiovascular system, your risk of heart disease goes way up. It's the exact same thing with this. All right, so it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get liver disease or fatty liver disease or anything like that. There's a number of different ones, but it's going to increase the risk factors of developing liver disease, and that's something that we don't want. All right, so it can help reduce inflammation, which is good for protecting the liver and cleansing the liver, especially. All right, if we have inflammation, all right, and our liver's not working optimally and at its proper function, then of course you're not going to have cleansing of the liver as well. All right, especially if we don't have the lifestyle changes in there. Now, another nice one is it's going to protect liver cells. And when we're protecting liver cells, that cleansing of the liver, all right, is able to happen much more easier. If we have damage within the liver with on top of it inflammation, good luck with cleansing the liver. All right, it's very, very tough. All right, and it's probably not going to happen. All right, so those two antioxidants, very, very important. And again, numerous studies that show not only a decrease in acute inflammation, so short-term inflammation within the liver, which is great, all right, because you can eat grapefruit, eat it regularly, maybe for breakfast and things like that. But it's also going to help with chronic inflammation. So long-term, the reason why we want to limit chronic inflammation is because that's when it can start to lead to liver disease, fatty liver disease and everything like that. So it can help, put an end to that chronic inflammation as well. Okay. Now the other thing with naringin, all right, is that it can specifically help reduce, all right, liver ailments. All right, and again, if we have liver ailments, if you think you're going to cleanse the liver, it's just not going to happen. All right, so that could be through the metabolization of alcohol, but it doesn't just have to be through alcohol. We know that alcohol is not healthy for the liver, but we also know that sugar intake and high trans fat and saturated fat is not healthy for the liver at all. All right. So to kind of sum it up, you have those super powerful antioxidants. All right. And then also, all right, you're having good evidence where we're preventing damage and we're preventing inflammation within the liver. And when that happens, all right, as grapefruit studies have shown, we're having tremendous cleansing abilities of the liver. Again, if you have those other issues with our liver, all right, you're not going to get the cleansing benefits with it. And especially if you're not doing the lifestyle changes as well. So poor hydration, taking in toxins, all right, smoking, consuming alcohol. All right, those are things that are going to be hurting liver cleansing. So if you're putting all of those together, eating grapefruit, making changes to lifestyle, you're going to see a tremendous benefit to that. Just taking a little sip of coffee here. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. Wow, I always like to shoot for the 30. We are almost halfway there. We were at 15. Thank you so much. So a nice one of the best foods to cleanse the liver is going to be grapefruit. All right, and because of those two powerful antioxidants, all right, naringenin and naringin. All right, two extremely powerful liver cleansers. All right, it can't go unnoticed. All right, and now we've seen studies to back it up as well. So grapefruit is a nice one, guys. Now, another great one, and you guys know how much I love blueberries. All right, blueberries, tremendous liver cleansing abilities. All right, I've done a video on liver cleansing, and I actually thank you so much for hitting that 15 thumbs up. We made it halfway through. Thank you, whoever that was. I really do appreciate it. But I've done a video on liver cleansing, and blueberries was in the thumbnail because it's one of the best. All right, it's just literally one of the best liver cleansing foods that there is. All right, and what makes it, and this is why I always say blueberries stands out from any other berries. All right, for one, it has super powerful antioxidants that are going to cleanse the liver, and they're known as anthocyanins. If you watch my stream, you probably already know what they're called because I bring it up every time. All right, anthocyanins, they're in the dark blue, kind of purplish type foods like beets, eggplants, blueberries, things like that. So anything that's kind of like that dark blue or purple, that's where you're going to get the potent anthocyanin antioxidants. So those antioxidants, amazing for liver cleansing. Okay, there's been studies that actually demonstrate that when we eat blueberries, and I'm not talking about blueberry juice. I'm talking more of like frozen blueberries or raw blueberries. All right, there's multiple studies. Again, I don't cherry pick. All right, it's just studies that are out there. All right. When we eat blueberries, and it can be a half a cup to a cup, it can be frozen, it can be raw blueberries, doesn't matter. You can add blueberries to oatmeal, other different recipes. As long as you're eating those blueberries, right, you're going to be helping and increasing liver health, all right, and liver cleansing, the two most important things. Now, what do blueberries do that are going to help with liver cleansing? Let's discuss that. All right, we already know that they're healthy for our liver. Nadine, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Sorry if wow, you guys are killing the thumbs up. Sometimes, like I said, I talk into the mic a little bit. I kind of get on a rant and tunnel vision. So sorry, Nadine, if I missed your chat. But man, those thumbs up are just flying right now. I'm very impressed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. And Nadine, very, very good to see you in chat. Thank you so much for joining us. But, getting back to the blueberries, all right, why are blueberries so good for liver cleansing? All right, because, I've discussed it in some videos, but what they do is they increase the immune response and antioxidant enzymes, all right, that are processed through the liver. And again, there's studies that are showing this. All right, so help increase the immune cell response and antioxidant enzymes that are going to cleanse the liver, which is tremendous. That's why, again, you only need half a cup to a cup of blueberries. And even if it's not every day, don't worry. If it's like every other day, 3 to 4 times a week, you're going to see good liver cleansing. And remember, we want to keep our liver healthy. It's a very important organ, has many bodily functions. All right. So when we're talking about like the functions of our liver, all right, there's so many. All right, we can list them off. All right. Again, it's going to help different chemicals in the blood, which is going to increase blood health. It's going to help with the excretion of bile. All right, and that can have bile in and of itself is very important. It's going to help with digestion. It can also, little known fact, it's going to help with lowering cholesterol levels as well. All right, which is just absolutely amazing. And the best thing is too, with the functions of the liver. All right. If we're increasing, all right, or decreasing, I should say, the amount of chemicals in the blood and the excretion of bile, all right, liver cleansing is going up, up, and up. All right, so with the increase of bile, it's only going to help with the cleansing of our liver. Geez, here we go. I love it. Getting some good comments in here. Hello from Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Uperd, welcome. Thank you so much for letting me know you are. I love it when you guys let me know where you're coming from. I love that. Thank you so much. Sea buckthorn. Is it known as a different name, sea buckthorn, or is that the actual name of it? Sometimes it can be called different from where I am. I've never heard of sea buckthorn. Maybe give it a quick Google, Psalm 91. Maybe give it a quick Google and see if it's known under a different name. But sea buckthorn I have not heard of before. It might be an interesting take on a video. So maybe let that know. I apologize. I've just never heard of sea buckthorn before. Again, there's so many foods out there. The actual name. All right, sea buckthorn. Let me see if maybe I can find something on it. So sea buckthorn. I'm just really trying to figure out what it is. Never heard of it. Is it an oil? I'm wondering if it's an oil. As I'm doing that, welcome Purple Land. Great to see you in here. All right. I'm having an excellent Wednesday. I hope you are too, my friend. Thank you so much for coming back in, and I hope you've been enjoying the videos. Just got in here. I see that. Thank you so much for joining us again, Purple Land. Really appreciate it. So that's the actual name. Dandelion is good, Youper. All right, I like dandelion tea. Like that herb is very, very nice for detoxification. All right, so not only total detoxification of the body, but also detoxification of kidneys and liver. All right, detoxification of kidneys and liver. All right, and especially important for our liver discussion today. So I see sea buckthorn is a plant. There's inflammation. You know, it looks like it's good for digestion. I don't see anything about, with its anti-inflammatory abilities, Psalm, it could have some good benefits for cleansing the liver. It wouldn't be my go-to though. All right, just from what I'm quickly reading right now, it wouldn't be a go-to, but it certainly can have liver cleansing abilities. Just make sure you're adding some of the other ones that we mentioned in here today. I know I'm seeing that it has potent anti-inflammatory benefits, which is, again, you get those antioxidants, you're reducing free radicals, you're reducing inflammation, you're reducing oxidative stress. That's only going to help. All right, so I would say, sea buckthorn, just make sure you're not overdoing it. All right, keep it in moderation, and then you should just be fine. Dandelion, dandelion tea I really like, and even dandelion greens are nice. You can add them to a bunch of different recipes and everything of that nature. You're very welcome, Youper. My pleasure. Cruciferous veggies, we'll get there, Rita. Absolutely. All right, you're reading my mind. Purple Land, I've been enjoying your videos and also been sharing them. Well, thank you very much, Purple Land. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, now let's get into some of the other ones. I was really interested in sea buckthorn. I got a little bit sidetracked there, but it's interesting. I learned from you guys just like you guys learned from me. I learned about all these new fruits. I guess it's a fruit. All right, and maybe it could become a potential video idea. All right. Now, again, with blueberries and everything like that, I don't get into the anti-cancer benefits and everything like that. I don't like to talk about that certain stuff just because I'm not coming at it from a medical practitioner point of view. But there has been studies. I'll just point it out. All right, and this is something to talk to your medical practitioner about, and you're going to want to get other prevention and treatment methods as well. But it has been shown in studies to inhibit the growth of liver cancer cells. All right. So again, tremendous cleansing abilities, tremendous liver health promoting abilities there. All right. But in short, all right, Blueberries, super high in antioxidants, which protect against liver damage, all right, and cleanse the liver. All right, those antioxidants are super important. It's going to help improve immune and antioxidant responses, which guess what? Those are the two important ones, especially when it comes to liver detoxification or cleansing. All right. And then, I don't get into the anti-cancer and stuff like that, but I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. But of course, you're going to want to make sure that you talk to your medical practitioner. All right. And then also don't forget about all of the micronutrients that are in blueberries. It's super nutrient dense. It's super low in calories. So that's why I like to say you can have a half cup to a full cup and you're not going to overdo it in calories. I think a full cup has just over 100 calories, so you're really not overdoing it. And it has great fiber, so it's going to keep you satiated as well. Now, the other thing I'll point out, you guys know I don't like to umbrella all berries underneath one umbrella where we say berries are a superfood that are going to act all of the same. But with blueberries often come cranberries. Cranberries are very helpful when it comes to liver cleansing as well. And the reason is when they did the blueberry studies, all right, they combined it, a couple of them with cranberries, and it showed that cranberries had the ability to keep our liver not only healthy, but to also cleanse the liver as well. All right, and that's just from, again, increased immune cell response and increased antioxidant enzymes. If you're getting those increased antioxidant enzymes, guys, that's another way of saying liver cleansing. All right, because those antioxidant enzymes are going to flush out toxins through the urination process. It's going to reduce inflammation, and it's going to reduce cellular damage, free radicals, oxidative stress, all of that type of stuff. So I'll give you another one. It's like blueberries, cranberries are a nice one. So for once, I'm not just giving you blueberries. I will give you cranberries as well. All right, cranberries can also be beneficial. Just when you are eating cranberries, just make sure that you're eating them in moderation. All right, eat them in moderation. They're a little bit more, and eat raw cranberries, guys. No cranberry juice or anything like that. Raw cranberries, just like raw blueberries. All right. My doctors denied these effects of natural foods. Yeah, sometimes doctors will do that, Youper. All right. What about mustard green? Mustard green, I haven't really seen too much in terms of liver detoxification. So mustard greens, but we do know, that they do have a tremendous amount of health benefits. All right, very high in anti-inflammatories, very high in nutrition. I just haven't seen anything in particularly where it comes to specifically the liver. But I think with mustard greens, the one thing that it has working for it, where it can help with detoxification, even if we're not just talking about the liver, is it's super, super high in antioxidants. It's one of the best plant compound antioxidants out there. And that's just because I've done multiple mustard greens. I can just remember that off the top of my head. So again, protecting against oxidative stress and free radicals. So with mustard greens, it might not be my first choice, but you're definitely going to get some liver cleansing when it comes to mustard greens. Now, if you eat the red varieties, all right, of mustard greens, you're going to get those anthocyanin antioxidants. All right, and that's the important thing. All right, that's what gives it that red purple. I've talked about this pigment. All right, and so that can reduce, chronic disease, help cleanse the liver, all of that important stuff. All right, so it can help with that sort of stuff as well, boosting immunity, all that good stuff. Again, a little bit of anti-cancer effects. We won't get into that too much. But, with mustard greens, again, you can't really go wrong. Love them cranberries. Yes, a lot of people love cranberries. Just make sure you eat them in moderation, guys. It can be a little bit high in sugar, but, of course, eat it in moderation. Cranberries, very, very healthy for you. Mac, good to see you. Sorry, I'm catching up on some of the comments here. Mac, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Sonia, good to see you in chat. Hello to you. And perfect. All right, I think I'm caught up here. All right. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much for everyone joining in. All right. Now, another one that you'll see, and one of my favorites. All right. Now, someone already mentioned one. We'll get into it next. But one of my favorite, guys, is beet juice. All right. When it comes to liver detoxification and liver cleansing, beet juice is one of the best. And again, people will say beet juice, but if you're eating beets, you're going to get the exact same benefits out of it. All right. And then if you're juicing the beet, at least with the beet juice, you're going to be getting a little bit of the fiber as well. So that's an added benefit. All right. It's easier to juice it, but you are getting added benefits from actually eating the whole beet. You're getting fiber. You're still getting the nitrates, which is really important. But, beetroot juice, one of the best things. All right. Again, I've kind of let the cat out of the bag. The reason why beetroot juice or beet juice, whatever you want to call it, all right, super good source of nitrates and a super powerful antioxidants that are known as betalains. If you've seen any of my beet juice videos, you've heard me talk about both of those. All right. Now, people always sort of combine them and talk about how healthy they are for the heart, but we have to remember that they're also very, very, very helpful when it comes to reducing oxidative damage and inflammation, especially within the liver. All right, which is important. Now, again, I don't like to cherry pick. You guys know me by this point. I don't like to cherry point certain studies. So it's not like I'm looking at one study and it's like, yeah, it could have the potential to help with liver health and with liver cleansing. But what beet juice has been shown is it can reduce oxidative damage and inflammation throughout the body. But also what these studies have shown is it can reduce oxidative damage and inflammation within the liver. All right, and even better, listen to this. We haven't said this yet, as well as increase natural detoxification enzymes in the liver. And there's multiple studies. I think I saw 5 that went over that. So beet juice is an amazing cleanser for our liver. All right, so if you're trying to detoxify the liver, beetroot juice might be your best bet. I'd put it up there with grapefruit. All of the ones I'm kind of mentioning I'd put up there, but beet juice, it has those specific detoxification enzymes specifically for our liver. All right, and it can help reduce oxidative damage and inflammation specifically in the liver. And when that happens, we're getting good liver cleansing. So beet juice, again, whatever you want to call it. I usually call it beet juice. One of the best things that you can drink for liver cleansing. All right. It's absolutely amazing. And again, that's not one study showing this. It's multiple studies. I think I found like 5 or 6, maybe even a little bit more, how you can get natural detoxification enzymes within the liver. All right. Detoxification, remember we said intertwines with cleansing. So exact same thing. So how amazing is that? By drinking beetroot juice, all right, not only are you reducing oxidative stress throughout the entire body, but specifically for the liver, which is only going to help with cleansing the liver, making sure that we're promoting proper function of the liver. And if we're promoting proper function of the liver, all right, obviously our liver is very healthy. We're getting good cleansing abilities. If you can combine beetroot juice with some of those lifestyle changes that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, man, you're well on your way to having very, very good liver cleansing. All right, so beetroot juice is an amazing one. All right, let me just catch up to some of these comments. I was thinking about some drinks detoxifying the liver. There you go. Well, Mac, you read my mind. We got into some beetroot juice. All right, that's a good one. I'd start with that. How much beet juice do you recommend to drink? 4 ounces is okay. It might be a little bit low, maybe like a 6 to 8. You don't have to overdo it. I would start with 4, see how your body reacts to that, and then maybe like go 6. If you're consuming it often, Rita, you don't have to have it in large amounts. Again, that's one of the major misconceptions of this channel. I feel like everyone thinks I'm always saying you need to have a certain amount or, a super high amount of foods. But if you're taking 4 ounces of beetroot juice and you're doing that multiple times a week, then you're going to be getting tremendous benefits for not only for liver detoxification and liver cleansing, but also just for liver health in general. Hey Jay, good to see you. Some people drink apple cucumber juice and add celery, aloe vera to be healthy young. Oh yeah, you'll see that all the time. Like the green drinks have really exploded. They've really exploded over the last couple of years, and we've talked about this over the course of a number of streams. When it comes to detoxification, everything like that, you don't need to add a whole bunch of different ingredients to it. Just eat these. If you're eating blueberries, if you're eating grapefruit, if you're eating cranberries, if you're eating beetroot or drinking beetroot juice, or even just eating beets, you're going to get those detoxifications. You don't have to come up with a 7-ingredient green juice to be getting the benefits of liver cleansing or cleansing the body. All right, you're going to be doing a great job cleansing just through eating these foods. Thank you so much, Mac. Please hit like, everyone who has not done yet. I love how you're always promoting the likes. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Alpha X, good to see you. DHT, and did you make a name change? I remember your Alpha X DHT, and now it's BPH. Good to see you in here. Thank you so much. Green juice is the best. Yeah, I mean, it just depends what you put in it, Jay. Green juice, very, very popular right now. But again, you can get those benefits from just eating whole foods and everything like that. I'm not saying that green juice is bad. I'm certainly not saying that. I've had green juice many a times. Trust me. All right, so green juice is definitely good. But again, you don't have to, go out and spend a bunch of money on all these different ingredients. You can just go out and get these foods individually, and then you get a nice detox from there. Green veggies contain vitamin A. Its lack causes night blindness and skin diseases. How often should you detox? Well, when you detox, it's not really about how often. It just sort of depends. It's personal preference. All right, it depends what your diet's like. It depends what your lifestyle's like. Of course, if your lifestyle is more sedentary and things like that, then you're going to want to maybe detox a little bit more. But when you detox, don't forget, it's not a long-term thing. It's maybe at most a week or something like that. It's not like you're doing it for a month-long detoxification. All right, that's why I'm pointing out these foods. If you're eating these foods on a regular basis, then you're going to be detoxing throughout the whole process, the whole time that you're eating these foods. So you're kind of getting constant detoxification, but in little doses. Drink milk, use fiber. Fiber is definitely important, Mac. Yep, fiber is definitely important. We talked about that a little bit with the lifestyle changes, because you're going to want to be getting rid. You're going to stay regular. You want to get rid of constipation type symptoms. It's just like staying hydrated, using the urination process to get rid of toxins and unwanted waste and things like that. But yes, we've talked about fiber. Absolutely, very, very important. And thank you, Psalm 91. I appreciate the comment. I'm glad that you're finding it very informative. Yeah, now BPH and DHT many times related to hair loss. Very, very good. But yeah, if you're detoxing, it's not for like months and months and months. All right, it's kind of a short period, especially if you're doing the drinks. But I would just make sure that you're eating these healthy foods. And Beet Power, Todd, thank you so much for coming in. That's right, beetroot juice is one of my favorite juices that you can have. There's so many important health benefits when it comes to beet juice, with the nitrates, to the, you got nitrates, you got betalains, all right? You got the specific, and again, we want to kind of turn it back to the liver cleansing abilities. You have a reduction in oxidative damage and inflammation in the liver, but again, natural detoxification of enzymes within the liver. And again, that's going to be super important when it comes to liver cleansing. All right. Liver cleansing, if you're getting those enzymes going, then you're going to have great detoxification through the liver. And again, if you're pairing it up with hydration and fiber, even better. Okay, I think I'm caught up here on some of the comments. Thank you so much, guys. Now let's go into the next one. So we got beetroot juice. Beetroot juice is an amazing one. Now someone mentioned, I can't remember if they said green veggies or cruciferous vegetables, but cruciferous vegetables are the next one on the list. I forget who it was. It might have been Rita. I could be wrong about that, and I apologize if I am. But cruciferous vegetables, very, very beneficial for the liver. Of course, our green vegetables are going to be very, very helpful in a lot of different ways, but they're extremely helpful when it comes to protecting the liver from damage and cleansing the liver. All right, now when we're talking about cruciferous vegetables, things like someone mentioned mustard greens before. We talked about the benefits of mustard greens. Those are a good one. Lots of beneficial plant compounds, but I think the best ones that you can do, and I always say this, the king of cruciferous or dark leafy green vegetables is always going to be your broccoli, because whenever we talk about detoxification, heart health, digestive health, broccoli is always there. All right, you're not going to find spinach there. A lot of people will put spinach at the top of the list. You're not going to find kale too much here, but you will find broccoli. Brussels sprouts are another good one. All right, and the reason for that is they have a lot of various powerful and potent plant compounds, which is very, very important when it comes to cleansing the liver. All right, so with Brussels sprouts and broccoli, we've seen, again, this is the big one. All right, this is the big one. This is why I always recommend broccoli. Brussels sprouts to a certain extent, but broccoli, all right, is the big one. All right, when we're eating, and again, not cherry picking studies, multiple studies, guys, that are showing when we eat broccoli, we see an increase in the amount of levels of detoxification of enzymes within the liver and increased protection from liver damage. All right, so tremendous liver health, but also cleansing as well, which is amazing. All right, that's kind of like the 2-for-1. If we're getting those detoxification enzymes, again, detoxification, cleansing, you can call it the same thing, but you're increasing, and let's call it cleansing enzymes within the liver, and you're protecting it from damage. So when you protect it from damage, not only are you increasing the cleansing ability, all right, but you're also reducing inflammation. All right, and you're also decreasing the risk of long-term liver disease, all right, which is very, very important as well. We can keep that in mind also. All right, chronic liver disease is something that we certainly want to stay away from. But, I mean, how amazing is that? Increasing the levels of detoxification enzymes. So specifically, exactly what we're talking about today, and this is why it's on the list, and that's why I'm saying broccoli is your king of dark leafy green vegetables. This, just like I say, blueberries are the king of berries. All right. A lot of people put it under an umbrella. They'll say all berries are superfoods. They'll say all leafy green, dark leafy green vegetables are superfoods. When it's just not really the case. Some are better than others. It's just because of the compounds that are in them, their ability to add in these detoxification enzymes of the liver. Again, people will point to kale, spinach, all of that different stuff, but you're not getting that. All right, you're only getting that in broccoli, and the studies show Brussels sprouts to a certain extent. So again, tremendous and amazing. Todd. Hey, MSM, is beets? Sorry, Todd, can you repeat that? I'm just not quite getting, hey, MSM is beets. Beets are very, if you're talking about if beets are healthy for liver cleansing, absolutely. We just went over beets, one of the best one. MSM is beets. Maybe you're talking about a certain type of vegetable or something along those lines. I'm just not quite sure exactly what you mean by that statement there. But if you want to clarify, by all means, please clarify, Todd, and I'd be happy to answer. What about Cavallo Nero? Never really heard of that in terms of the detoxification of the liver. Cavallo Nero. Just again, you're not going to hear about everything and things like that. I think it's like a dark leafy green vegetable, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of similar to like kale, maybe like a cabbage or something like that, collard greens. I don't see why it would hurt necessarily. It's very similar, I guess, with Brussels sprouts and broccoli. So, Cavallo Nero can definitely be good, Rita. All right, because it's going to have a little bit. It's sort of like that Brussels sprouts and broccoli family, if I'm not mistaken. If we're thinking about the same thing, so if it's similar to those, then certainly it's going to have some benefits for liver detoxification. Now, guys, we are at 25 thumbs up. We are almost at that 30 goal, and we're almost going to hit it within the hour. So you guys are just crushing the thumbs up. If we can just get to that 30, man, I'm super impressed right now. I can't believe how fast it's going up. Fellow no is kale. Yeah, that's what I was. I think that was the first one I mentioned. It's like very similar to kale and things like that. And again, kale is going to be similar to like Swiss chard. It's going to be similar to the collard greens and everything like that. So yeah, kale can definitely be there. I wouldn't put it in the same bracket as sort of broccoli and Brussels sprouts. That's for certain. I think if you're wanting to get, the best bang for your buck when it comes to liver cleansing, I would go with the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts. All right, go with the broccoli. A lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Brussels sprouts. And thank you so much, guys. 27 thumbs up. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now, we talked about cruciferous vegetables. Let's move on to our next one. All right. And you've heard me talk about this a little bit in certain live streams. All right, but something that is very important, and it cannot go underrated, guys. And thank you so much again, putting up with that no signal. Sometimes that just happens. I'm not exactly sure why. So, I just appreciate you guys putting up with that. What I like to do is I'll just throw up a picture up there. So if you guys want to do the same, I threw up a fruit picture. All right, which is nice. Now let's get into some more foods. MSM is sulfur. That's all right. That's all good. Sulfur compounds are good. You're just not going to get the liver cleansing abilities from sulfur. Tons of other ones. All right, tons of other great abilities like with sulfur compounds. Broccoli, garlic, things of that nature. It's going to help a little bit with liver, just not. It's not at the top of the list. So it's not one of the best, but you're definitely going to get some good sulfur. Some good liver cleansing abilities with the sulfur. Now let's go to the next one, because this one's an important one, guys. We need to make sure. I always point this out, and the best way to get them is through fatty fish. When I'm saying fatty fish, you guys might already be able to guess what it is. All right, so fatty fish. All right, it could be salmon, sardines, or you can even get it with a fish oil supplement. But one of the most important things is that we're getting those omega-3 fatty acids. Again, they cannot be understated. Omega-3 fatty acids, we need them in our body. All right. One, they're super healthy fat. All right. And we want healthy fats in our diet. We don't want saturated. We don't want trans. We want as much as possible monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, and then omega-3 and omega-6. Even a little bit of omega-9, but I'd focus more on the omega-3 and omega-6, especially the omega-3. Now listen to these amazing studies that I found when it comes to omega-3 fatty acids. 29, thank you so much, guys. 29 thumbs up. Man, we are almost right at that 30. You guys are absolutely tremendous. Thank you so much. But check out this amazing study that was done. All right. And this was an analysis of a bunch of different studies. So again, it's not just cherry picking. But what they found was that omega-3 fatty acids helped lower liver fat and liver triglycerides. All right, and this was in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Remember, all right, a lot of people think you're only going to get fatty liver disease through alcohol, but it's just not true. You're going to get that through a poor diet, through sugar, through a bunch of sodium. All right, so just unhealthy diet. You can still get fatty liver disease. Again, it's usually connected to alcohol consumption. But again, it doesn't have to be just with alcohol consumption. It can be through poor diet. But we saw a lowering of liver fat and a lower of triglycerides, which is very important. Again, cleansing the liver, all right, which is amazing. So we see that omega-3 rich fatty fish like salmon and things like that. And if you're not a huge salmon fan, I know a lot of people aren't fans of sardines or anything like that. You can take an omega-3 supplement, all right? But it's very beneficial for our liver. Especially, sometimes you'll want that good ratio of omega-3 to omega-6, all right? Just again, remember the omega-3s, all right, very healthy for liver cleansing. All right, we do not want to make sure that they're out of our diet. And it's hard to get omega-3s. If you're not a fan of fish like salmon or sardines, all right, and if you're not, I would try to go for maybe a flavored fish oil supplement if you're really having problems getting it in, because a lot of people aren't a fan of that fishy taste or anything like that. Then maybe walnuts would be a good bet for you. There's a little bit in almonds, but walnuts are one of the only plant-based compounds that actually have omega-3 fatty acids in them. So you could add walnuts to the diet, but it's just not going to be the same as fish and things like that. Is swordfish too high on the food chain like tuna? Sorry, Tom, not exactly understanding. Too high on the food chain like tuna. Swordfish and tuna, good fish, tuna especially. You just don't want to eat it. And thank you so much for hitting that 30 thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. And you guys did it just over 60 minutes. Probably, it might have even been within the 60 minutes. I haven't looked, maybe in 2 minutes. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. With tuna and swordfish, you're not going to get the fat. You're not going to get the omega-3s, Todd. It's healthy fish. You're going to get good protein. You're going to get other benefits. You're just not going to get the omega-3s from it. It's not fatty fish, so there's just no omega-3s that are in it. Don't eat dried or fried foods. Yeah, exactly, Rita. Sorry, I thought you were saying don't eat dried fruits there for a second. And I'd agreed. I would stay away from dried fruits altogether, like dried apricots, raisins, things of that nature. But thank you so much, guys, for the 30 thumbs up. Fatty liver, trans fat in junk food. Absolutely. Fatty liver can definitely come from having a poor diet. All right. A lot of people they won't think of that off the top of their head. They'll kind of connect it to alcohol consumption and things like that. But poor diet is definitely going to help lead to fatty liver disease, and especially being overweight, sedentary lifestyle, things like that. Mint cod liver is good. I use it for vitamin D, I'm guessing. Cod liver oil, I think it can be quite high in vitamin D. Again, Todd points out mercury. Don't overdo it on the tuna. Don't overdo it on the salmon. If you're having salmon and tuna, maybe 1 to 2 times, maybe 3 at max a week. Okay, you don't have to have it too often. That's an important one to make sure that we're understanding. But don't underestimate the power of omega-3 fatty acids, guys. Super healthy, and super healthy when it comes to our liver cleansing. Now, someone else mentioned the next one. All right, this next one's very important. I'd stick around for this one. All right, when it comes to overall liver health. All right, now let's see if maybe we can hit a new record with that 30. I don't know if I've ever seen 31 or 32 or anything like that. I know we've hit 30 in the last 2, but man, you guys are just crushing it right now. We're going to be on for a little bit longer too, so thank you very much, guys. Now the next one, all right, is going to be olive oil. I forget who mentioned it. It might have been Rita, but I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. I apologize. All right. We already know that olive oil is very, very healthy fat. All right, so polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, not very high in saturated fats or anything like that, trans fats. You're not going to get quite the omega-3 fatty acids that you are from some of the other, like fatty fish or supplements and things like that. You are going to get a high amount of antioxidants and things of that nature. So that's an important one. Now let's talk about how it's helpful with our liver and liver cleansing. All right, now here's a nice one. And again, several studies have shown this. And again, have it in moderation. You don't need to have a ton of olive oil. Same thing with the fatty fish. It's higher in calories, guys. So that's why I'd be cautious with the oils, because those calories can add up super fast. You don't even need a tablespoon of olive oil, and I think you're almost at like 10 grams of fat or something like that. So just keep that in moderation. You're going to get the benefits even if you're having it in moderation. All right. But what olive oil does, as we've seen in studies, is it's going to decrease the accumulation of fat in the liver, which is nice, because the more fat there is, the less cleansing there's going to be, the worse the overall function of the liver is going to be. But also improved insulin sensitivity, which is important for liver health and liver cleansing, because again, when the liver is working optimally and efficiently, it's going to have its own natural cleansing abilities. So it's important to make sure that we're keeping the liver healthy. And so, improved insulin sensitivity, that's one way of keeping it healthy. Now, a nice one is also, all right, improved blood levels of liver enzymes. Very, very important when it comes to liver detoxification, all right, and keeping the liver healthy. So that's why I like olive oil, but just make sure that you're having it in moderation, guys. All right, if we're having it in moderation, then we're good to go. Now, not only are we decreasing fat accumulation in the liver, because fat accumulation is something that we don't want. All right, we see in, just having 1 teaspoon of olive oil, I think that's what the study had. Remember, I told you it just has to be in moderation. All right. If it was 1 teaspoon fairly regularly, so if not every day, again, 1 teaspoon is not going to be a ton of fat. It's maybe like 5, all right, maybe 4 or 5 grams of fat. That's not very much. It's less than 50. It can be anywhere from like 40 to 50 calories, all right, which is nothing. All right, but when we have that amount of olive oil, you're improving, again, the liver enzymes, those liver enzymes that are going to help cleanse the liver and keep the liver healthy. But you're also reducing fat levels in the liver as well, keeping it healthy, keeping it working optimally, and getting those natural detoxification benefits going. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. 31, look at that. I don't know if I've ever seen 31 on here, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That is what caused my health problems. Love both of those fish. Yeah, kind of. Are you thinking of Yupa? Are you thinking like the high mercury fish or the fatty fish type of thing that was creating the health problems? Eating too much fish, so mercury and other maybe heavy metals and things like that, or is it just too high in calories? 32, man, you guys rock. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So that's the great thing with olive oil, guys. Improve liver enzymes. Again, you're getting that natural liver cleansing and detoxification, but also decreasing fat levels. Again, we don't want fat levels, high fat, fatty liver, worrying about fatty liver disease. All right. When we have fatty liver disease, it can take quite a while. All right. And you have to be really careful and make sure that your diet is on point, even working out. And making sure you're eating the correct foods, all the ones basically that we're listing right now, to reverse those effects. And sometimes you can get so far down the road that it can be very tough to reverse. So if we're decreasing those fat levels, and again, this was just 1 teaspoon. All right, and again, it has to be a little bit more often, so like per day. But again, if you're doing it per day, 1 teaspoon is only maybe like 50 calories. So you're definitely not overdoing it. 50 calories is nothing, guys. Now, olive oil. Maybe you guys are writing it down. If you're not writing it down, maybe go back and re-listen, because we're kind of going through some foods. I don't want to go too fast through them, but I want to make sure that we're getting to them, and you guys are getting a nice kind of combination of foods here. 33. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Maybe real better now, and then do not eat margarine or other substitutes. Yeah, Rita, I'm not a huge fan of margarine, that's for sure. I used to be, but then I kind of learned better. That was kind of in my early years. Yeah, flax seeds are good for omega-3s. You have to eat a little bit more for flax seeds, but definitely great for omega-3s. I pretty much eat flaxseed every day. I'll throw it either in my oatmeal or I'll throw it in smoothies. But flax seeds are a very nice choice. Thank you for pointing that out. So walnuts and flax seeds, maybe even chia seeds, but more flax seeds and walnuts are some of your better omega-3 sources when it comes to nuts, seeds, non-fish related. Could you make another video later on the foods that are bad for your liver, if you don't mind? Thanks. There might be some out there, Purple Land, but if not, yeah, that's something that I can definitely consider. I have almost like a list of foods that I'm kind of working on right now, but foods that are bad for your liver, there might actually be one that are out there. But if not, then I can certainly do that for you, Purple Land. Absolutely. Foods to stay away from for liver health, I think, would be a good one. Foods to stay away from, you could do it almost on anything. For kidney health, heart health, for proper digestion, I think those are all good ideas. Yeah, I think it's important to make sure that we're focusing on those, to make sure that we're keeping ourselves as healthy as possible. Because once you start going down the path of where our organs aren't working optimally, like liver, the digestive system's not an organ, but we're digestive health, our heart, our kidneys, things like that. I think you're kind of on a road to certain. There could be certain consequences. And that's not to scare anyone, but that's just the truth. I mean, if we're having fatty liver disease, obviously that's not going to be increasing our overall health. It's something that we're going to want to reverse or make sure that we're focusing on. All right, now let's get on to our next one here, guys. Now, one that might come as a surprise are nuts, seeds to an extent, but the ones that I've read, nuts are great. I wouldn't put them at the top of the list like some of the other ones, but nuts can be very healthy for overall liver health and liver cleansing. All right, the short term of it is that nut intake. So think about like one of the best ones is almonds. Think about walnuts. things like that. Even Brazil nuts, but make sure if you're having Brazil nuts, it's only 1 to 3 a day. You don't need any more than that. You don't want any more than that. Just because it's so high in selenium, you have to worry about toxicity levels and things like that. 1 to 3 per day, and that is it. So sort of the I guess the short answer for nuts like almonds and things like that, it's been associated within studies to improve liver enzyme levels. All right, which is amazing. Again, that's the stuff that we're looking for. That's going to be leading to liver cleansing and a healthy liver. Improve liver health. All right, so increasing those liver enzymes. All right, antioxidants. Don't forget, nuts are very high in antioxidants. All right, especially let's say almonds. Just make sure if you're eating almonds that you keep the skin on. You're going to want that brown layer of skin on because that's where most of the antioxidants are found. But they're very high in things like vitamin E. Don't forget, vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. That's why it's so popular when it comes to skin products and skin health and everything like that. It's a plant compound. So high in vitamin E, it's good in fats, nutrients, all of that good stuff. Now, studies have shown too that a diet that's, the study was a little bit, we have to be careful because when we're having nuts, we're increasing our fat intake, which is increasing calories. We want to make sure that we're not increasing calories too much because that's only going to lead to things possibly like obesity, things like that, which is not good for the liver. All right, so you can still eat them in moderation. All right, but a study found that when we're eating nuts, all right, it was sort of associated with a decreased risk of fatty liver disease. And again, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is tremendous again for liver health and liver cleansing. All right. So make sure if you are eating like almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, those would be maybe my top 3. There's other good ones out there that I'm sure you guys know off the top of your head. Just make sure you're having them in moderation. Very potent in antioxidants, so great for liver cleansing, getting rid of those free radicals, oxidative stress, inflammation within the liver. Again, we don't want inflammation because that's only causing damage. All right, so getting rid of that inflammation within the liver as well. For omega. Does smoked fish count? Depends what fish you per. But smoked fish is fine, like smoked salmon and stuff like that. As long as like there's no preservatives or anything like that. If you're having it from a can, I'd be careful. But certainly if you're like smoking fish or anything like that, like a salmon, no issues that I can see that would cause a problem. I put fresh ground flaxseed on my oatmeal regularly too. Oh, nice, Todd. Yeah, I think it's great. It's very filling, which is awesome. I like to add blueberries, so you're basically getting 3 superfoods in one. I've given this recipe before, but if you have oatmeal and you have blueberries and you have flax seeds all rolled into one. Again, I only put probably 2 tablespoons of flax seeds into the oatmeal, and that's giving me somewhere about 8 to 10 grams of fat, so I don't need to overdo it, but it has tons of fiber, tons of those omega-3s, which we want. Oh, poor diet that caused health problems. Absolutely, Uper. And don't worry, you're not alone. There's tons of people who go through the exact same thing. And the important thing is now you're on a channel like this, you're learning, and then you're adding those nice foods. You're going to be adding the nice foods that are going to increase your diet. So that's amazing. Pine nuts, I haven't really heard too much with liver cleansing or anything. Pine nuts are definitely healthy for you, though. If we're just going back to liver cleansing or anything like that, absolutely nothing wrong. It might not be the best liver cleanser, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with pine nuts. Actually quite healthy, very nutrient dense, good healthy fats in those. Again, just keep it in moderation if you can. Keep the pine nuts in moderation, and then you guys should be doing just fine. But pine nuts are one of my favorite. And again, it can be very easy to overdo it with pine nuts. They're smaller. Sometimes you're grabbing almost like a handful of them at a time. So just be careful. I know you're probably having them in moderation, Rita. So yeah, pine nuts are a nice one too. I've done a few pine nut videos. It's been a little while. Maybe I'll look back into doing a pine nuts video and things like that. Okay, let's get on to our next one. All right, so we have nuts, things like that. All right, which I think is very, very healthy. All right, now one that is usually on the list here, all right, is tea. All right, now we don't need to overdo it with tea. All right, the best tea that you can have when it comes to liver cleansing is green tea. And thank you so much for the 33 guys. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been live streaming before and seen 33 thumbs up. You're very welcome, Rita. My pleasure. I don't think I've ever seen 33 thumbs up while I've been streaming live. So thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. So the next one, again, would be tea. So there's, tons of evidence out there that not only is tea beneficial for overall health, but evidence that also showing it has particular benefits for liver cleansing, liver health and liver cleansing. All right, liver cleansing first, to be honest. All right, cleansing out. The best one is green tea. Now, some of the studies just show a ridiculous amount of green tea that's being consumed per day. Like some of the studies I saw, it was like 6 to 8 cups of green tea. If you're sensitive to caffeine or anything like that, and don't forget, if you're having a ton of caffeine, that can be one of the potential lifestyle changes that we might want to make. If we're overdoing it with caffeine, you might want to be careful with that. But I think 1 to 2 glasses of green tea per day, all right, is more than enough. But what we're finding out is that by drinking green tea, it's improving. All right, so we're seeing an improvement of blood markers of liver health, which is very, very important. That just means that our liver health is improving and we're getting liver cleansing at the same time, which is amazing. Those are 2 things that we want to be shooting for. Now, the nice thing, people who are having non-alcohol fatty liver disease, when they were drinking green tea, all right, because remember, green tea is super high in antioxidants, not even chronic, so not even drinking it for a long time, but they saw an improvement in liver enzymes, all right, an improvement in the reduction of oxidative stress, and even more impressive, a reduction in fat deposits in the liver. So they were starting to reverse fatty liver disease. All right, and that only took a couple of months. All right, and again, that just speaks to the antioxidants that are in green tea, the bioactive compounds. Remember, off the top of my head, what is it called again? Oh yeah, the EGCG. All right, so you're getting EGCG, very powerful bioactive compound that's found in green tea. All right. It's tremendous, all right, tremendous bioactive compound in green tea that you're not going to find in many other teas, all right? So that's very, very helpful. So how great is that? So we've been talking about fatty liver disease. We don't want that because it's going to only decrease the overall health of our liver. All right, but we're finding people who have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease just by drinking green tea for a few months. Now, you might need to be drinking again 2 to 3 cups of it. If you're drinking less, it might just take a little bit longer, but you're still going to get the liver benefits of it. You're seeing improved liver enzyme levels. All right, so increasing antioxidants, increasing that natural cleansing ability of the liver. All right, but also a decrease in oxidative stress. Remember, oxidative stress is only going to create inflammation and damage within the liver. But I think the best part and most interesting part of that study is you're decreasing fat deposits in the liver. So you're starting to decrease fatty liver disease. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, guys. So that's why I thought green tea is a tremendous one that we have to have on the list. All right, now again, there has been some correlation and links and stuff like that with people who drink green tea lower the risk of cancer. Again, as you guys know, I don't like to get into that too much. And again, you have to be drinking quite a bit of green tea per day. But again, that's something for your medical practitioner. Okay, guys? So green tea is amazing. All right, at the green tea. And hopefully you guys can still hear me. If someone gives me a yes in chat, I know I might have just connected for a second. If someone can just give me a quick yes where you can actually still hear me, that'd be greatly appreciated. I think my software might have just disconnected for a quick second, but it looks like we're back. But answering your question, Rita, I'm not sure if you heard it. What do I think of decaf green tea? Perfectly fine. All right, perfectly fine. Som, what's the best way to normalize high liver enzymes? Eating these foods that we've been mentioning today. Staying away from highly processed foods. All right, thank you, Pi. I appreciate it. And I think that might be your first comment today. Coming in strong with letting me know that I can be heard. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. Thank you, Pi. And Rita, thank you very much as well. But Sam, I think the best way to normalize high liver enzymes, again, you might want to talk to your medical practitioner about it, but I think eating these healthy foods that we're listing today, and I think just eating a nice, well-balanced diet where we're not eating a ton of processed foods or anything like that, I think that's the best way to normalize. And staying away from alcohol as well. So staying away from like salt, sugar, saturated fats, all of that stuff that we don't want, all right, in our diet, because that's only going to lead to problems with our liver. It's going to do the exact opposite of liver cleansing. It's actually going to lead to the possibility of liver complications. Now, I will say you guys have been crushing the 33 thumbs up. If you in any way found this discussion possible, your generosity and your ability to support the channel is greatly appreciated. With the thumbs up, with all the views, everything like that. I know people have been sharing the videos. If you feel so inclined to leave a super chat, that's always greatly appreciated as well, just to show support to the channel, show that you're enjoying the content. And like I said, we're here every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Sunday, and daily videos. But you guys have absolutely crushed the thumbs up today. I am super shocked. But again, the best way to show the support is through super chats. Again, just because there's more people and new people in the chats. There'll never be a membership option. I want as many people in these chats as possible. I don't want to limit to people who are in, the join function, or who are members. And then I also don't want to have a PO box or something like that where people are sending me things. That's just something I would never do. So again, the best way showing the support, all right, through the super chat function, and then also through your thumbs up. But I know Deborah came through strong with the super chat. There's been a couple people asking me about that, even getting messages right now on supporting the channel. So I'll leave it there, guys. But I greatly appreciate it, especially as we're coming on to hour and a half. It's hard to believe, that we're talking about liver cleansing for an hour and a half, and you guys have stayed strong. Like the people who are in here right now, you guys have been in here for pretty much the whole entire time. So I really do appreciate that. Like I could go through the list. I can't scroll up, but I see Rita, Psalm, Uper, Purple Land, Todd has been in here for a long time. I really appreciate it, guys. But I'll just say the super chats is the best way. There'll never be a membership function. I want you guys in here asking your questions, and that's the best way to do it. And then again, no PO box. I never want anyone sending me anything or anything like that. It's just not something that I'll ever do. So super chat function is the best way to support the channel. And again, we'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you. So getting back to our next one, those teas, if you're not a big fan of green tea, and again, you do have to drink quite a bit of green tea. to get those benefits. Another nice one is black tea. There's been nice studies that show that black tea can help reverse, a lot of the effects, negative effects, we should say, of having a high fat diet, which can, decrease the overall health of our liver and lead to fatty liver disease. All right. And again, living a sedentary lifestyle. All right. So, black tea is another nice option if you're not a huge fan of green tea. Maybe combining them. One day green tea, couple glasses of green tea, one day black tea. Now remember, these are going to have a little bit of caffeine. That's why I think some of these studies that are just claiming a super high, my pleasure, Rita, thank you very much, a super high amount of green tea per day. If you're sensitive to caffeine, and we want to limit caffeine to a certain extent, it's not horrible for you or anything like that. You need to drink a lot of green tea, even to equal 1 cup of coffee. It's just such a high amount of green tea. But I think, again, anything in moderation is better than nothing. But black tea, you can reverse, all right, the negative effects of a high-fat diet. Remember, we already talked about that. If you're eating highly processed foods, that's only going to have a negative effect on your liver and increase blood markers of liver health. So blood markers of high fat in the liver. And again, once you have that, the cleansing abilities of the liver kind of go out the window. All right. Also, both of these teas are going to help reverse liver damage. All right. They'll reverse liver damage and increase liver health. All right. Which I think is amazing. So those are 2 good ones, I think, right off the bat. Now, if you guys are writing some of these down, all right, don't start out by adding all of them. And thank you so much for the 33 thumbs up, guys. I do appreciate that. Don't start out by adding all of them. Again, this is just for liver health. This isn't for changing your diet altogether or anything like that. Maybe adding 1 or 2 to your diet and then focusing on the lifestyle changes, but then also focusing on just eating a healthy diet. Because if you're eating a healthy diet, then you're going to make sure that you're detoxing anyway. The best way to detox is to hydrate, the lifestyle changes that we made. All right. So making sure that you're eating a healthy diet. All right. That's a great way for detoxification. Eat a healthy diet and then make sure, all right, you're not overdoing it in alcohol, salt, sugar, and we should be back. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. For some reason, the software just isn't a big, for some reason it's disconnecting, but I think we're good to go now. It shouldn't happen again, trust me. But I think just add one or two, this week or next week or whatever it is. Does honey count as sugar? Yes, it does, Youper. All right. It's just a sugar substitute. So honey is, even at the end of the day, fruit is sugar. We talked a little bit about that last time in our fruit discussion. All right. It is sugar at the end of the day because fruit does have, and people don't, and it's a contentious topic. All right. But again, honey is just a sugar substitute. All right. And then same thing with fruit. All right, you have fructose and you have glucose. So you have natural sugar and you have fruit sugar, but they both combine to make sucralose. So fructose is a monosaccharide, glucose is a monosaccharide, combined together to make a disaccharide, which is sucralose. I drink a lot of green tea in a day. Is it bad? Well, how much are you drinking, Pi? The only way I could see it being bad, some people who will drink herbal teas or green teas who have a predisposition to like kidney stones and things like that. That's not to scare you or anything of that nature. But if you are a little bit more prone to kidney stones and stuff like that, It could happen. How long have you been drinking 5 cups for, Pi? Geez, that's an awful lot of green tea. And here I thought I was doing good with 2 to 3. Turmeric and green tea is usually my go-to. I'll have a nice turmeric and green tea. Usually with the herbal teas, I think you find a little bit more with the kidney stones and things of that nature. But, 5 cups, these studies didn't really... I think you're pretty good, though. Talk to your medical practitioner, but I think, 5 cups for a year, if you're going to have something along that nature, you probably would have already had it by now, to be honest with you. As long as you're not feeling any discomfort or anything like that. All right, guys, 33 thumbs up. You guys amaze me sometimes. 33 thumbs up. The highest I've ever seen, honestly. I don't think I've seen higher than 30. But I really do. Here's the thing I'll just mention real quick. It's not a sob story or anything like that. But a lot of people, and we have a lot of new people in chat right now, all right? A lot of people think that this is like a team because you see a lot of teams and other things like that. I don't drink any other beverages. That's why I drink tea instead. That'd be good, Pi. Maybe if you increase your water intake just a little bit, just water and green tea, and then you'll just be crushing it. Maybe a little lemon water, but you don't have to add that. That's just like kind of my little specialty. But water, green tea, you should be fine. But I just want to mention something too, because I get a lot of messages on this. I'll get a lot of comments in terms of, sort of reacting to a bunch of people who are on the stream. This is I research all the videos. I script all of the videos. I edit all of the videos, everything along those lines. I think we might have dropped again. Very annoying. So let's wait to see if that will come back. All right, looks like we're back now. Sorry about that, guys. All right, a lot of people will sort of think that this is sort of a team because a lot of food channels, most of them out there are team-based. Like you have people who edit, people who research, things like that. This is a one-man team, and I am not a YouTuber. All right, so... I research all of the videos, I edit all of the videos, I voice over all of the videos, and then I put them all up myself. But a lot of people think that YouTube's my job. It is definitely not my job. This is just a passion project. So that's why sometimes I'll point out supporting the channel and things like that. We've been doing this for 8 years. There's almost 5,000 videos up on the channel, daily videos, 2 sort of live stream podcasts a week. I just want to make sure that people are aware of that because sometimes, I will get comments to the effect of, wow, you guys are doing great, or, the team's doing great, keep it up, and things like that. It's a one-man show over here, and that's why I can come on here and not a lot of other channels can come on, and I can talk to you guys one-on-one about these certain topics and about certain foods because I do all the research, I put up all the videos, so I've been able to gain that knowledge over time. So I consider myself very lucky for that. And so that's why sometimes I'll bring up the supporting of the channel if you guys like the videos. And that's why I like kind of communicating with you guys one-on-one. It takes it to that next step further. Robin, very good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us today. But again, a lot of people will think that it's a team of people. How to increase height after 22? There's not much that you can do, Robin, after that. After 22, usually you're fully grown by then, and food's not at that point. Food's not going to have a huge, a significant increase or a significant what's the word I'm looking for? A significant effect on increasing height after 22. After 22, we're usually reached our height. So I know that might not be the answer you're looking for, but after 22, we're full grown, we're adults by that point. Maybe if you were like 16, 15, 17, maybe if you're even a late bloomer, but at 22, we're pretty much tapped out. So just enjoy the height that you got. It's all good. Don't worry too much about height. Focus on health. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out to you guys. It's a one-man team, and I love it and I enjoy it, and that's why I do the daily videos. Like today, we put up the red pepper video. I had a great time researching that. Every time I research the videos, makes me want to sort of add that in for the day. So it's kind of fun for me as well. Any surgery? Nothing that I know, Robin, to be honest with you. And sort of someone as a non-medical practitioner, I just can't say. Nothing that I've heard with surgery or anything like that. But yeah, just be happy with what you got. And at 22, you're probably at you're probably tapped out when it comes to height. With chia seeds, that's a good question. Chia seeds, they can be good for the liver, I will say. Pie. Chia seeds, you've sort of seen some studies. The reason why chia seeds is because they do have that omega-3 fatty acid, so they do have sort of that potential to reverse fatty liver disease, especially non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Also, what chia seeds are rich in is alpha-linoleic acid, so ALA. All right, so ALA, which is another healthy fat. Sometimes I don't like getting into all of that because I like keeping it simple, but it's also very high in antioxidants and even fiber to a certain extent. The anti-inflammatories, the omega-3 fatty acids, and the antioxidants is where it really shines for chia seeds. So it can be useful in treating or at least decreasing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and then also just with liver cleansing. So chia seeds definitely aren't a bad choice when it comes to it as well. Okay, guys, I think we will end there. Great discussion today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll be back on Tuesday, or sorry, not Tuesday. I keep getting my days mixed up. On Sunday, and we'll have another interesting topic. We have 34 likes up, 34 thumbs up. Like I said, I've never seen that many before in one stream. So I really appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the support. Any support that you guys can give for the channel. Again, this isn't my full-time job. So, dedicating 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours like today on the channel, it can be a lot of work. So any way that you can help support the channel is greatly appreciated, because this is a passion project and I'm putting in probably about 5 hours today, but it's just because I love doing it and I love helping you guys. So if you guys are enjoying the content, by all means, keep it up, keep coming in, keep showing that support, whatever you can do, I really appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. That's my main point to Robin as well. Just be happy, and don't worry too much about the height thing. But again, we're a one man show, and we've been going strong with these live streams. Again, we're almost at 2 hours. I put in about 3.5 hours into the morning video. So YouTube can be fickle sometimes with the algorithms and just everything like that, and the time it takes to create. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. We'll come back on Sunday, and we'll have a nice, interesting discussion then, and keep eating healthy. And again, guys, take it day by day. Don't focus on, adding all of these foods. I know we mentioned a lot. Focus on the lifestyle changes and then add those foods in. And I think you guys will be doing just fine. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Any support that can be given, I always appreciate as well. Like all the thumbs up today, having everyone in chat, amazing. I love being able to talk one-on-one with you. Thank you, Pi, for staying up so late, 2 a.m. Wow. Love it. So thank you so much, guys. Let's end it there. We'll come back on Sunday. We'll come back strong. Be on the lookout for daily videos. And then we'll just keep going on from there. And like I said, we'll have a nice, interesting one-on-one chat once it comes to Sunday. All right. And again, you guys will get the reminder so you know exactly what time that we're going to be getting on at. My pleasure, Purple Land. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for watching and sharing the videos. I really do appreciate that. That goes without saying. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you coming in today. Awesome engagement today. And just makes sort of my job easy coming up here and talking with being able to answer your questions and everything like that. Thanks so much for the chat. Great info. Well, I'm glad that you found it great, Rita. Thank you so much for the nice comment. I appreciate it, guys. So thank you very much. Let me end it there. We'll come back on Sunday strong. We'll have another nice discussion. Stay healthy, stay safe, and then we'll come back on Sunday, and I look forward to talking with you guys then. And be on the lookout for those daily videos. Those aren't going to stop. We're still going to keep going strong with them. All right, guys, take care. Have a safe, healthy, enjoyable